sometimes organizations record activity and cost at different time period. For example, the software organization may record the production activities on a daily basis and the cost on a monthly basis. The suggestion that we'll give is that the organization should give to the analyst the responsibility to check whether there is mismatched time period or not. If there is, they should give him the authority to aggregate on a monthly basis or daily basis. The fourth problem that may arise is trade-off in choosing the time period. Analysts have choice between choosing short time period or long time period. Let's say that the short time period starts from January to June, and here from January to December. By choosing this one, the short time period, the analyst will get many data points, which is good because the estimation will be better than if we choose the longer period. But what is the problem? Imagine if the activity is recorded at the end of June and the cost at the beginning of July. What can you see here? Janish?
Mismatch periods.
Here. There is the activity is recorded at the end of June, and the cost is recorded at the beginning of July. What can you notice here? Okay, there is mismatch time period because the activity is recorded at the end of June, and which is in the time frame selected by the analyst, and the cost is recorded at the beginning of July, which is not in the time frame of the analyst. So better to choose the long-term period. Here we will avoid the mismatch the problem of mismatch time period. But what is the problem here is that the analyst won't be able to collect many data, but only few data. So the estimation may be confused.
Another problem is the allocated and discretionary costs. Here, fixed costs are allocated on cost per unit on activity base. So, as you all know, total fixed costs don't change. But a change in activity level may increase or decrease the fixed cost per unit, a precise fixed cost per unit. So, for example, for the software company, if you have depreciation, and depreciation is a fixed cost, and it is allocated on cost of production, and allocated on cost of production, then it may appear as a variable cost. And you see, by this, you see it's confusing. It's very confusing. So we get problem to know which is variable and fixed. So we will recommend software company, organization,
they should give to the analyst
the information,
so that he can determine the amount how it is recorded.
Yeah.
If it is a fixed cost or variable cost, to avoid confusion.
Another problem is inflation. As you all know, inflation mostly affects all companies around the world. And inflation, because if you have inflation, you will see that the historical data will not reflect the future cost behavior. How? For example, if you're in your software organization, you have at the start of the month, you have your historical data and inflation come in between, like all your data and inflation come in between. You will find that it will be very difficult for the company to make the future behavior. So we will recommend software organization use information from previously low inflation and reflect it to the future cost behavior.
So after discussing these problems and how can we recommend it, is this effective? So it is effective, but it's very important to measure the cost and benefit when implementing any solution. If the cost is more than the benefit, obviously the organization will not be able to survive. So what we have seen in our presentation that knowing different cost behaviors can help to predict future costs, which can help the managers to make better decisions and control operations. And we have seen many methods that can be used to determine cost behaviors, and we have discussed the problems and we have given recommendations. We thank you for your cooperation, and if you have any questions, you may ask.
Well, yeah, so you have usually it was okay. The way you have used, illustration to explain your concepts. The only lacking was, a bit more involvement of the audience. Right? That was the weakest, you can say. You have covered the concept, yes. So just one question there. So you have highlighted the problems that you have, with the inputs and all that. Okay, so my question is basically to go through the presentation question itself, the issue raised there. So it is a prepare presentation for the management discussing the difficulties they may face in gathering the information. They might need to carry out an analysis of the cost behavior and the development of the cost function. So might be that part was missing, the development of the cost function. You have given, have illustrated, highlighted all these problems in gathering information. What about the development of the cost function? What we do? We eliminate that, we don't use that, or we still can use with some, reservation.
No, cost function, we should use it because when we estimate.
So just, show us the cost function, and then of course you answer.
Cost functions are the different cost
So
behaviors.
what you have, no, the cost function. What you have there? The cost function. Still remember the cost function? Y is equal to? That's the cost function.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what I've been explained about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've explained it there.
So by doing this, you've already said that we can determine. It's very important when you have two variables.
That's when you have two variables, you have to use the multiple regression methods. It's
Yes.
involved more than one.
Yeah.
and
No,
variable.
what I'm saying is the impact of those fluctuations,
Yeah.
in the input, because there are some assumption there.
No,
the
because
cost function.
when you said that here it's an estimation method, but one of the problems, we
Yes.
said like inflation, it
Yeah.
will affect because the inflation will affect it because here we estimate before the period. When the inflation happens,
Yeah.
the method of course will be affected.
Yeah. So what's your recommendation on this concerning the cost function? What's your recommendation? Because it's still,
No,
you
but-
have given us so many information, yes,
Yeah, the
it's
company-
correct, on the right track, yeah. So
Yeah.
what needs to be done, We need to be satisfied, at the end, as managers, what you are proposing to us, yes, that's it, we can use it, and that's the benefit that we'll get.
No, but by using the cost function, it is an estimation method.
Yes.
By estimating the method, they will be able to predict future costs.
Yeah.
And if the problem happens, but given the recommendation, what should be done? Of course, when inflation will happen, it is uncontrollable, so the organization will not have any choice.
So we still can use it, of course.
We can use it,
Yes.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You have to, you know,
But
keep on
obviously-
it, you have to keep on it on the end.
Since the beginning.
Keep on it on the end, yes. Although we have so many problems, yeah,
Can use it.
it's helpful, it's a good tool.
I've already said it helps in decision making and in control.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, it probably
Kita apa jadi? Beda ni.
should have been highlighted here. So what I'll say now, weaknesses, overall, well presented, except for involvement. Remember it's a presentation, so of course they will sleep, but you have to go and, you know, pinpoint them. Somehow, you know, you have us, yes.
Yeah, but there is
No, that was another weakest point you can say, okay? Anybody want to ask a question there? Alors, yeah, no? You're not following? Anybody there? Sure, you haven't understood anything, any slide which you want to, you know, they go back
Anyone we can
to.
explain anything.
You see that? Toi, sûr?
Actually,
Si? Non, ça va? C'est clair? Ouais, ok, thank you. You know, the problem with this one, say, the way you are using, you know, the board. So you focus on the board. You understand? So while presentation, it should be, you know, involvement of the audience. Again, that's why you have to focus because you have a pull-up. So you don't get marks for that because you're focusing on writing on the board and all that. It should have an involvement of, you know, the audience. Why is that? C'est pas comme si, non, c'est pas lecturing là. Ça c'est when you're doing lecturing, when you're presenting, you know, your time. But you're talking to the board. It is as if you're talking to the board. That's the problem. See, you're talking to the board.
Cuma Fibli, Fibli.
Yeah, no, the thing is, focusing on the board. We are talking to the board, you know, that's what I want to say. No, that's
They will get it.
we're talking to the board, you know, so you should be, you know, face to face, facing the audience. Put some boards there, face the audience. And you know, the way should have been done. Maybe you should have gone on the board, and the other one explaining, you know, what's he doing.
but I don't know what he wants to explain and I write something else to explain.
You see, that's motivation, that's deep. You understand what I'm saying? He, you know, just try to wrap whatever, and then, no, that's why you need to do so many things there. No, that's a learning point for others, huh? Instead of you doing that and speaking at the same time. The other one should know what because you already have, you know,